Hey everyone, BLCardistry back again. Today I have a tutorial for a very popular trick. This trick is called the Mentalist and it's by MegaMagic987. This guy's awesome. There'll be a link to his performance and also a link to his channel, so please check him out, please subscribe. This was a real popular trick. A lot of people asked him if he'd do a tutorial and thankfully he's given me the privilege of doing the tutorial for him. So thanks very much MegaMagic, and great trick. Go check him out, guys. So hopefully you see the performance because you'll want to understand what's going on, okay? Otherwise this tutorial is not going to make much sense at all. You're going to need a bit of a stack. You're going to need all the 7s and all the 6s. Also all the 8s and 9s, okay? So 6, 7, 8, 9, you need all of them, alright? So this is a setup trick. You're probably not going to be able to do this one impromptu unless you're very good at culling cards. So anyway, 6, 7s, 8, 9s, and MegaMagic, if you've seen the performance, which you should have, yep, you'll know that MegaMagic uses 2 blank face cards with a 1 and a 5 on it for the reveal at the end, but I don't use blank face cards, so the 1 and the 5 are just going to be a 10 and a 5. Okay, for this trick. So you'll need a 10 and a 5, or you could, alternatively, you could use sticky notes and write a 1 and a 5 on the 2 jokers or something like that, or, you know, if you've got blank face cards, ripper, good for you. Now, here's your setup. 8s and 9s need to alternate. Okay, so 8, 9, 8, 9, 8, 9, 8, 9. Alright, so it doesn't matter if the 9s go first or the 8s, like it doesn't matter if it goes 9, 8, 9, 8, 9, 8, but I've got 8, 9, 8, 9. You just need to remember which order you put them in, okay? So I know I've got 8, 9 right now. If you switched them around, you'd have 9, 8. Pretty simple. 6s and 7s just need to be kept in their 4 of a kinds, okay? So 7s, then 6s, or 6s, then 7s. And they just go on top of the deck, okay? Now, that would be the setup, but because I've got a 10 and a 5, here's what you do with these. Alright, you take the 7s and 6s off, and what's going to happen is you're going to put the 5 there. Alright, so the 5's going to be on top of all the 8s and 9s, 7s and 6s go on top of that, and the 10 goes on the very top of the deck. Now, maybe you'd like to start the trick with some false cuts or, you know, whatnot. Ooh. Sorry, these cards are very new. They're slipping apart like butter. They're lovely, but anyway. So, start the trick off with some falsies. Falsies. Nice. And you've got your big stack on top of the deck, and all you need to do is tell your spectator to say stop somewhere in the top 8 cards. Okay, because you want them first to pick a 7 or 6, so we're just going to deal down to, and technically you've got 9 because of the 10 on top, okay? So 9 cards would be fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're counting 5, 6, 7. Probably best to count in your head. Let's say they stopped there, okay? And you've got to remember that you got to point out they stopped at the 6 of spades, okay? They could have stopped at any card. And then, because you were counting and they stopped on the 7th card, okay, you need to ditch the cards that will get you to the 5. Okay, so you need these 2 cards. There's 2 methods I would use for this. MegaMagic at 987 does a very clever method where he says, okay, now I'm going to do that again, so I'll just get you to stop when I deal down like this. Deals down the amount of cards that he needs to and gets them onto the bottom. Okay, so that's nice and easy, but otherwise you can just get a break under the amount of cards that you need, so 2, the less cards are better for this bit, and then double undercut them to the bottom, okay, whatever method works for you. Then say, okay, now maybe in the next 8 cards, perhaps you'd like to do a couple more false cuts, okay, whatever floats your boat, and then you get them to stop in the next 9 again. You're counting 1, this doesn't matter, you don't need to be counting here. 4, 5, okay, they've stopped here, okay? All you need to remember, okay, here, is, I'm just going to redo that, you just need to remember what order you had. Remember how I had 8, 9, if you had 9, 8, you just need to remember that. So you deal down the 5, that's indifferent, And now you're thinking. That one's an 8, 9. 8, you're just thinking in your head, 9. 8. Take note of the card that they stopped on, whether it was a 7 or a 6. Okay, because if it's a 7, you need to add it up to 15. If it's a 7, you need them to stop on an 8. If it's a 6, like I did, you need them to stop on a 9. So if they said stop here, and you had a 7, you'd flip over the 8 to reveal adds up to 15. Okay, but I don't have a 7, I've got a 6. So therefore, if they stopped there, I just deal down the next card and say 9. Okay, now 6 and 9 add up to 15, yes? And I have a prediction. And all you write on your prediction, keep it in a deck box, whatever, is you write flip over the piles. Okay, and you say, okay, so prediction, you know, these two add up to 15, and you've got 10 and 5. But if you performed it with the blank face cards, then you'd have a 1 there and a 5 on here, and you know, it gets very good reactions at that little ending there. And you know, as I said, you can write on a sticky note and stick it on the card, just 1 and 5. So I'll go through that once more because I think that's a little bit confusing. So you know, if you'd rather not watch me go through again, then just don't watch it. But if you'd like me to recap, I think I will. 9, okay. So get under there. Okay, good. So I've got all my cards. 6 is on the bottom. I will just go through how to do that once more. Okay, this time I'm going to go with the 9-8 setup, even better. I can do a bit of vary. 10 on top, 5 in between. So that's what your stack looks like, by the way. Okay, big stack. Now remember, you got your prediction. Okay, stop in the first 9 cards. 1, 2. Okay, let's say they do an early stop. Okay, on the third card. Okay, so it's a 6. You've got your 6, you remember that that's a 6, so you want them to stop on the 9 next time, but you've only got 3 cards there, so you're going to need to get a break under 6 cards. Okay, so you can just say, alright, any card would have done, break, cuts. Okay, so just undercut the 6 cards to the bottom, so you don't want those cards anymore, you want to get straight on to the 5. Yep. Stop me again. 1, 2, 3, and this time, remember, you're remembering is an 8 or a 9. So I've got the 9-8 set up this time. So the 5 goes down, 9, 8, 9, 8, 9. Okay, they stop there, so that one's a 9, I know that. Just like so, 6 and 9 is 15, flip over the piles, and every time the 10 and the 5 will always be on the bottom because you're dealing them down first. So I hope you guys understand. If you don't, feel free to leave a comment or message me, so me or MegaMagic987. And speaking of him, go check him out again, and thanks very much for that, Mega Magic, and I'll see you next time.